Day 17. The Political Exodus. The seat cradled me gently, suspended in space, in thought. No floor below, no ceiling above, just soft light and silence, weightless, as if gravity itself had taken a vow of absence. And yet, one question tugged at me like an invisible cord. Are these aliens truly free? A strange thought, maybe. But try this. If someone asked you to draw freedom, what would you sketch? Most would imagine flight, arms outstretched, rising skyward, untethered, as if freedom means escape, from weight, from limits, from the pull of the world. Maybe that's because somewhere deep inside, our souls still remember their origin, and long to return to the one who made them. I thought of the verse. Indeed, I have vowed what is in my womb to be dedicated, Muharrar, to you. Al-Imran 3:35. That's the mother of Mary dedicating her unborn child to God. Sa'id ibn Jubair explained Muharrar as free for worship. It struck me like a whispered secret. Real freedom isn't about breaking all ties with creation. It's about cutting every rope that tugs you away from the Creator. Freedom is a paradox, like those sci-fi titles I devoured as a kid: Cold Fire, Burning Ice, Black Light. Oxymoronic truths that force you to look again. True freedom isn't rebellion, it's submission, not to men, not to systems, but to Allah alone. And the more you surrender to Him, the freer you become from everything else. A gentle ripple of light interrupted my thoughts. The walls shimmered, dancing with shifting colors, geometric fabrics alive with motion. The alien entered, robed in living color. His garments glowed in kenta-like threads, rich with contrast, unapologetically radiant. He smiled with mischief in his eyes. "Have you picked our next stop?" he asked. "Or shall I?" I blinked, still swimming in thought. "I'm processing." "Then I'll choose," he said, fingers moving across the visor. "Where to now?" "Medina." The word landed like a stone in water. I met his gaze, unblinking. "Still obsessed with Medina?" I asked. He didn't answer. Just studied me, his eyes gleaming, not with amusement but with certainty. "Tell me," he said slowly, "why would your Prophet ﷺ abandon Makkah, the holiest city on earth, home of the Kaaba, for a backwater plagued by disease and civil war? A place torn by tribal bloodshed, dominated economically by Jewish tribes. Was it just survival?" I opened my mouth, but he pressed forward, voice tightening. "Do you even know what Medina was like before he arrived?" This time I cut him off. "Yes," I said. "I know." Yathrib was suffocating in blood feuds. The Aus and Khazraj had torn each other apart for generations. Jewish tribes fanned the violence, profiting from division, monopolizing trade. The water was tainted. The air was thick with sickness. As Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, once said, it was the most diseased land of Allah. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, shivered there with fever, murmuring through cracked lips, "Death is closer than the strap of my sandal." And Bilal? Bilal cursed the winds that had carried him to that land of plague. The alien's eyes lit up, not with mockery, but revelation. "Then you understand," he said. "If he ﷺ were merely escaping death, he wouldn't have gone there." I hesitated. But the persecution in Makkah was unbearable. The Hijrah was necessary. He stepped forward, his voice quieter now, but firmer. "Necessary, yes, but not to hide, to build. You don't flee to a dying city unless you intend to resurrect it." He didn't leave Makkah to disappear. He left to establish. The silence wrapped itself tighter around us. Even the hum of the walls seemed to pause. Almost involuntarily, I muttered, "But Islam is a spiritual path?" He didn't flinch. "Spiritual? Yes, but not sterile, not sealed in caves or whispered in secret. If that was its aim, he would have stayed in Makkah, praying quietly. But you can't implement divine justice under tyrants. The Hijrah wasn't a retreat. It was the first step in building a moral order. Before I could respond, The visor snapped into place over my eyes. And suddenly, I was there, under Medina's sun. A heat that scalded my skin. Dust swirling in the air like smoke from a battlefield. My lungs caught its bitterness. There, he was, brick in hand, laying the first wall of the masjid, mosque, with his companions. Sweat on their brows. Joy in their eyes. No throne, no gold, just mud and faith. Then the scenes erupted like flames. The Muhajirun and the Ansar, strangers linked not by blood, but something deeper. A bond forged in faith, sealed in mutual care. A new market, free from fraud and monopoly, free from the grip of usury. And the Charter of Madinah, the charter itself, unfolding like a scroll of light. The first constitution of a pluralistic state. Muslims, Jews, polytheists, all with duties, all with protections, all part of something shared. The alien's voice thundered over it all, like a verdict. Tell me, do mere spiritual guides write constitutions? End blood feuds? Design economies rooted in ethics? I tried to speak. My throat was dry. Maybe it was just crisis management. He appeared beside me, eyes burning, voice unshaken. Exactly. Crisis and resolution. Chaos and order. Islam didn't just preach, it governed. It outlawed vengeance. It established zakah to dissolve poverty. It replaced tribal fury with law. Another burst of light. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, enforcing the ban on interest. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, redistributing land to the poor. A civilization rising, not from conquest, but from principle. Then silence. The vision collapsed. The visor retracted. I was back in the cell, my back against the wall. My hands trembled. My thoughts stumbled like wounded creatures. The alien spoke gently now. If Islam were only spiritual, he said, your prophet would have died in a cave. But he didn't. He built. He governed. He transformed. I stared at the floor. Something inside me felt unmoored, as if I too were migrating, not across land, but through a fog of old certainties. But, I whispered, that doesn't prove religion should govern modern states. He paused. Then, with a blade of a voice, perhaps not. But ask yourself this. Can justice exist without governance? Can morality survive without power? Islam never separated them. Maybe. It's only you who's trying to. I looked up. The ceiling shimmered like a mirage. And somewhere within me, something vast and tectonic began to shift.